Hi, my name is Jacques Berlinerblau, and you're watching The God Vote. Joining us today is Asra Nomani.
Hey, great to be here.
Asra Nomani is a professor of journalism at Georgetown University and a contributor to the Daily Beast. How are you doing today, Asra?
I'm great, thank you.
You wrote one of your pieces in the Daily Beast yesterday. It was entitled, "Profile Me, I'm a Muslim." Tell us about your piece.
Yeah, I have to admit I'm not going to win homecoming queen at my local mosque with this article, but I believe that I had to send this message out that at least I, as a Muslim, recognize that we have a very clear trend happening in our Muslim community. In 1998, Osama bin Laden issued a fatwa that said airlines and airports are targets for good Muslims to attack. And so we have to be honest about this issue inside of our Muslim community and include racial and religious profiling in our threat assessment.
Now, what would you say to a critic who would riposte to you? Well, Asra, if they were to profile you, this would create a sort of subtext of anti-Islamic sentiment in the United States, which would increasingly radicalize some Muslim American citizens.
I really believe that this culture of denial in which we live right now is one that we have to shed. Trying to claim that, Muslims are under attack does not deal with the issue of why people fear us. They fear us because there's a very legitimate threat coming out from within the Muslim community.
There seems to be a kind of ideal type or prototype of a Muslim American terrorist, right? They start off happy American kids, small town America, they've got a Facebook page, they love sports, they love rap, and then all of a sudden it's like they flip and they're toting weapons of mass destruction. Why do you think this happens?
I personally don't think anymore that it's all of a sudden.
Right.
I really believe that inside of our community we have an ideology that we have to be honest about confronting. I have right here a version of the Quran that is translated by the Saudis. And I'm just going to go to the first chapter. It's a very innocent chapter, and it says simply, "Guide us to the straight way." Okay, who can have a problem with that? But then what the Saudi translation has done is they have added parenthetical phrases. So the original text says, "Guide us to the straight way, not the way of those who earned your anger." And what the Saudis have done is that they've added, "such as the Jews." Okay, and then the original text says, "nor of those who went astray." And the Saudis have added, "such as the Christians."
So that's a commentary on the text.
It is.
That's an interpretation of the text.
Yeah, and that's the challenge inside of all of our faiths, right? Is how are we going to challenge the extremist interpretation that's intolerant? And so boys like Faisal Shahzad, who grew up in America, who had the privileges of this country, whose wife had a page, on a social networking site where she put a little picture of their newborn baby with a little bunny rabbit suit. I mean, this is a boy we should not have lost. But when he went back home inside of Pakistan and inside of militancy in Pakistan, this is the interpretation of Islam that he listened to. The Anwar al-Awlakis, that are on YouTube, basically preaching to our young boys, they are preaching this interpretation of Islam. And that is what I believe we have to say no more.
Asra Nomani, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, Jacques. Appreciate it.